everyone. Welcome back to the Virtual Sales Summit. Bob Perkins here with the AA-ISP. Special guest, Lauren Bailey with Factor 8. Lauren, welcome.
Thank you. So happy to be here.
It's great to be. We've worked together for so many years. Factor 8 is one of the best training firms out there. So make sure you visit their exhibit, their booth here when you have a break. But it's great, always great to have you, Lauren. Today, you're going to talk about what?
Helping sales managers thrive. So a lot of your audience are frontline managers, and these are going to be tips for your own personal development and the managers that you'll be hiring as you move up. So many of us in leadership positions struggle to find that, getting the right people into management. We've all made the mistake, right? We've promoted the wrong rep into manager. So I'm here to help us stop doing that and to help support the managers once they get there.
All right. This is pre-recorded. However, chat is going to be live. Factor 8 AA-ISP will be there. Ask your questions, make a comment. And in just a moment, Lauren, I'll go off camera here. And then with about 2 minutes left, we have about 28 minutes. With 2 minutes left, I'll come back on to help wrap up.
That's my subtle cue to shut up, right?
That's right. Yeah. See me coming, you got 2 minutes.
Well, stay with me for a minute, will you? Because I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So let's jump in. I'm Lauren. Like, that's the first slide, right? That's me. Hi, everybody. My friends call me LB. I'm the founder of 3 successful brands, 2 of which were launched on your stage at this event, Bob.
Yes.
Right? So Factor 8, Girls Club, and the Sales Bar. And listen, I think it's been 10 years we've been working together, at least. So I've loved it. Thank you for having us back. All right, here's the question, Bob. Why did you get into sales management?
Oh, Lauren, I was called into it. I can't, it's hard to describe. I had a job once where I was a sales rep. I was just an okay sales rep. I didn't get motivated. And I saw this sign on the manager's door, and it said general manager. And I said, someday I want that job. I want to lead. I want to create things, and I want to help people. And I was called to it. So that's why.
I love that. I love that. Listen, I think we all have similar stories, right? And at least the ones who are still in it and loving it, it's a calling. And watching other people win is addictive, isn't it, Bob?
It surely is. Look, Lauren, I'm going to go ahead and go off camera. Have a great presentation. Everyone, thanks for joining us here.
Thanks, Bob.
At the Virtual Sales Summit.
I'll see you in 27 minutes. All right, cool.
26 minutes.
All right, let's get moving. So you guys, when we get into frontline management, we pretty quickly realize that it's not for the lower stress and higher pay, right? So it's about helping. It's about empowering and coaching. It's about launching other people's careers. But I have to tell you, frontline management is a fail point for most of our organizations. We've all made the same mistakes. And here's the sad statistic. 60% fail in the first 2 years. That is a higher fail point than our national divorce average. That's tough. I'm passionate about trying to help figure out why and stopping that. I absolutely nearly failed myself. It was 1998. I was 24 years old. I was leading a team of 15 inside reps at a technology reseller selling into the enterprise market. And that struggle, that sheer overwhelm that I felt in those first 6 months is what inspired me to start Factor 8 and Girls Club 20 and 30 years later. So today I'm going to share my insights, the ones I learned from my time on the job as a frontline manager and a leader, but also what I've been doing at Factor 8 and Girls Club for the last 20 years. I hope I can help make a difference for you and your teams. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of courses, books, quotes, conversations that managers need. This presentation is a summary of what I have found to be the silver bullets, the 20% that make 80% of the difference. So you guys, let's start please by monetizing this. Google it. I know you're multitasking anyway, right? Go Google the cost of bad management. And you're going to see numbers like $300 to $500 billion a year, $7 to over $30 per day per manager. Remember Gallup, who does polls about engaged and disengaged? 20 years ago, 37% of our workforce was engaged. We've just had a drastic drop in the last 6 months, and today 31% are actively engaged. Every single other employee is costing you money. How much? About $3,000 per disengaged employee per year. The actively disengaged is like sabotaging and costing you 10 times that. Whoa, add that up, folks. Employee disengagement is expensive. And what's the number one reason why they're disengaged? You know what's coming, right? Number one reason on the board, their boss. We join companies, we quit bosses. Raise your hand if you've had a bad boss. Every single one of us. His name was Paul Scannell. And he's the reason I jumped out and started my own company. So thanks, Paul. We all have a Paul in our lives. Sadly, you've probably hired a Paul, somebody else's Paul. So let's talk about stopping that and keeping these managers, picking better ones, making them more successful. So what's the number one reasons that managers are failing? I'm here to tell you it's because they're so damn good at being reps. Your best reps are in the winning business. I don't care if you're in SaaS, high tech, pharma, automotive, it doesn't matter. They fail and they get up. They get better. They chase the deal. They make 10 more calls. They do not take no for an answer. They're competitive. They're hungry. They won't take a loss lying down. You might not let them date your daughter, but you'll want 10 more of them on your team. Am I right? Yeah. Unfortunately, your best managers are not in the winning business. They're in the people business. I think Jack Welch said it very well. It's not about growing yourself. It's about growing others. Let's look at it in a diagram. This is from a really old book I love called The Leadership Pipeline. Okay. It shows that as you're an individual contributor and you're leading yourself, when you get into frontline management, boom, we change directions. But look at that orange dot. Not only do we stop going right and start going left, and by the way, that keeps happening, we actually had to back up a little before we went left. Your top reps are at the far right of that first line. But in order to go into management, not only do we have to go a whole different direction, we got to unlearn some stuff. We got to stop doing some stuff and then go into totally uncharted waters. So let's take a look at some of the stops, tactical examples of this change in direction. These skills don't translate. It's time to stop doing these things. Have you ever had a manager who wants to just keep a few key accounts, who's really good at jumping in and doing a call, second voice, or takeover, but they still can't get you an accurate forecast? They may have applied for the new job, but they haven't stopped doing the old one. They're reading sales books, not management books. It's called the Peter Principle, and it's a thing for a reason. Here's a couple of the start skills. Let me tell you, the slide filled up in 10 seconds, and I need 10 more slides. But let me tell you something I noticed while I was building this. Almost all of them are hard skills. Hard skills, tactical job skills. But we literally just said it's about developing others. And that was one bullet of mine on this list. We got a bit of a dilemma because truth is, this is what we want: employee engagement. We want them to feel like this, right? We want them to feel this way about their leaders, because when your reps engage with, when they believe in, when they bond with and love their leader, they will stay and they will perform. So maybe the goal of management isn't about driving sales. Maybe the goal is employee engagement. And when we get that, the result is sales. So what I believe we have here is a chicken and egg situation, right? We got a head-to-head battle. Is it about the hard skills? Is it about the soft skills? And of course, the answer is both. But tell me the last time you had unlimited time to develop your people and budget to develop your people, right? We are lucky if we get $2,000 per manager to train them. We are lucky if we get one day at an SKO or a virtual offsite, right? We can't just unscrew their heads and dump it all in. We have to make tough decisions. And that's difficult. So where are the silver bullets, right? This is what we want: a role model manager who's human and engages and connects and inspires, but gives the tough love and holds people accountable and drives the number. Well, folks, no wonder we fail more than half of them. What we're talking about is a freaking unicorn. It's tough. And it's really tough for a 24-year-old. Being a role model leader requires something most of us didn't find until our 30s. Maybe we're still searching for it in our 40s. It's called authenticity. Being this it's really a whole lot about knowing yourself. It's what the great leaders have. Here's a definition that helps me. Authenticity requires a certain large measure of vulnerability, transparency, and integrity. New leaders tell me every day that they're nervous and they feel like imposters. Maybe they weren't the top seller. Maybe somebody more senior also applied. Often they're managing their old team of peers. They've literally never managed before, and we've never trained them. Less than 28% of our organizations offer internal leadership and management development. You guys, they're scared shitless. And their go-to move isn't sharing and showing that fear. Why? Because they're in the winning business. They're ballers, right? They're studs. And they're not feeling great about it. So they're kind of overcompensating and they kind of go in the wrong direction. What we need to focus on as the silver bullet is building this. Building new managers' confidence so they have a fighting shot at actually being authentic and engaging their teams versus alienating them and resembling that 50% hating the boss statistics. In Girls Club, confidence is something that we address directly. And after 3 years now of running the program, I'll tell you, the confidence competency is the number one reason women apply, the number one goal they have in the program. And that is by a factor of more than double any other answer. Okay. All 3 years, number one answer on the board by a landslide. We also have a 70% promotion rate. So I think we might be on to something. So how do you build confidence in a new leader? Ask Billy Bean, of course. I love this. I love this slide. You may have seen me present it before because I am in love with Moneyball. Okay. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Oakland Days. They made a movie a few years back. This probably helps, ladies, right? Billy Bean, AKA Brad Pitt, focused his entire lineup and budget on this baseball team, this underfunded baseball team, not on the big name pitcher, not on the home run hitter, but on guys who could get on first base. Unknown names of dudes who got on first. Why? Because you can't get home unless you get on first. If you're not into baseball, this will help. You can't get home unless you get on first, okay? First base skills build confidence and get managers in position to do well with their teams and score. And these are the silver bullets that we found. They're blocking and tackling first base skills of sales management, and every one of them's a hard skill. There it is. It's chickens, not eggs. These are the hands down favorites through Factor 8, through Girls Club, of the hundreds of things that we've done and seen with managers. These are the ones we get the top feedback on. These rank higher than anything else. And because they give managers confidence to do their job, that they know their job and that they aren't imposters. My favorite story is I was teaching these courses in a kind of a high level rushed fashion for a client in Dublin for 2 days. And there's a group of 3, 2 women and a man who were in this training and they were kind of disengaged, right? I thought that maybe they've been in management too long and I was having some imposter syndrome, right? Maybe what I'm teaching them is too junior. You know, they were talking a lot during it. I was feeling like, okay, I didn't reach these guys. I'm sorry for that. We get to the end of the training. You're not even gonna believe this. One hugs me, one's crying, and the other says, I finally understand my job. Thank you. I mean, they've been in the job for over a year. So I'm gonna dig into these so you can duplicate them back at your office. The first thing that managers need is, we call it a sales cadence. We teach 7 essential manager meetings. And the idea is like your reps have a sales process and it guides them during the sale and their day. Managers need the same. except their process isn't about the sale and the customer. It's about their interactions with reps, from sales huddles to performance one-on-ones, pipeline meetings to deal strategy meetings. Help them set up their days. How often should they have these meetings? Where should they have them? What should they cover? Help them set up their calendars, map it out, plan it out. That's step one. The second thing that makes all the difference is time management, okay? New managers are whack-a-mole managers, from urgent issue to urgent issue. It's either a line at the desk or a blowing up Slack, right? They take rep problems, they own them, and they try to prove themselves by solving them. We teach them instead to quickly assess these like triage, delegate some, delete some, schedule some into meetings, and then prioritize a final few as urgent. The top thing we teach here, you can Google this, is called the Eisenhower Matrix. Game changer. Game changer for your managers. Write that down. Eisenhower Matrix. Getting a hold of their days will help them get proactive instead of reactive. All right, the next thing that makes a huge difference for managers is helping them with a standard meeting framework, okay? A meeting framework is what they do in those meetings. It's how they conduct those meetings. I was shocked that this was the number one favorite. COACHN is what we use as our acronym. Use whatever you want. Clarify expectations for the meeting. Go through the observed behaviors. Ask questions. Get commitments about what's going to happen, offer help, and then go into next steps. You can use this in call coaching, in performance one-on-ones, in team meetings. And once you know it, you're more successful and confident going into every single meeting. All right. Number 4 is about navigating this land between revenue and dials. This is what you hear new managers, right? Oh, halfway to goal, make more dials. Here's your quota. Let's get some talk time. Okay, there's a land in between these and a land above these. When you get into the top part about company mission and vision, that inspires. When you get between revenue and metrics with KPIs, like leading indicator KPIs and behaviors and actions and milestones, that's what helps drive the number for reps. We have to teach managers how to do this translation. And the last one I'm going to share with you is one of those essential manager meetings, and it's call coaching. And I pull this one out because this statistic is true. It's our very worst skill as sales managers. I used to teach call coaching in about an hour and a half, and now we do it over 4 sessions in 6 hours because it takes that long to change the behavior. So get focused. When we can get managers feeling more confident about coaching their reps, it snowballs because sales is what they know and love. And that call coaching session, it's about engagement, right? You get rep engagement, you get rep bonding, you get rep skill all in one meeting. And it can be a silver bullet when it's done well, but it takes some training to get there. All right, my next piece of advice is that all new managers need a mentor until they pass that 2-year mark. Till you get past the 60% fail, get them a mentor, even if that is you. The next 6 slides are the top questions and comments new managers have shared with me when I've acted as a mentor. These aren't necessarily skills. These are approaches or mindsets. And if you're the mentor, write these down, please, because they're the next 5 conversations you need to have with your managers. First and foremost, we've all seen new managers fail because they don't realize they're in a fishbowl, right? We've seen them screw this up. They keep having lunch with their buddy, right? They keep acting like a rep. They think they can still hang out in the break room, or they're crushed by the fact that people don't like them and want to hang out with them anymore, right? We got to talk about the fact that yes, they're being watched. Yes, they're being judged. And it's not about being liked. It's about being respected. When we get real, this is what I hear. I'm actually a little disappointed. Realize that reps got promoted because they were superstars, right? They were killing it. They were super, super successful. And now they are managing a team that's on a bell curve. They were the A's. They can't believe their entire team's not made up of A's. They're shocked to learn they're going to make their number every single month on the backs of their B players. And that, yes, there are D players on their team. New managers need to be clear that they will never, ever manage a team of them, ever. And that's tough. And here's the part that comes from there. You cannot control how much other people care. And when you care more than they do, it causes a problem. Managers, you are a superstar. You are a superstar. And most of the rest of your team for the rest of your life will not be. And sometimes you have to give up on people, not because you don't care, but because they don't. So talk to them about the span of control. I love this one. My reps don't do what I tell them to do. Help them understand the difference between telling and training and coaching. Used at different times, used in different ways. These are all different, right? Saying something once in the tell category does not equal behavior change. Walk them through that and when to use each. It's a big deal. This stat kind of supports some of this. Bob, our friends Trish and Steve from Exec Vision and Bridge Group did a study a few years ago that 76% of managers are saying they're coaching 3 to 6 hours per month or more, and less than half their teams agreed with that statistics. Ouch, right? I think the reason for this is that when we're working with our teams, we call it coaching. But we need to help managers see that we need dedicated skill coaching and dedicated career conversations and dedicated bonding and engagement time, and that none of those are the same as the numbers conversation or the deal conversation that you're having with your reps, okay? This is why the call coaching is so critical. It's engagement, skill development, bonding all at once. Your managers, however, think it's about winning deals. Why? Because they were phenomenal reps and they're in the winning business. So my favorite line to help with this, and I hope you'll steal it too, is coach the rep, not the deal. I struggle a lot in managing and coaching deals and not just going to win the deal. I still struggle with that, which is why I don't join live sales calls. I will coach recorded sales calls because I know the goal of my coaching is to coach the rep, not the deal. And there's a huge difference. All right. Last thing I want to talk to you guys about is how do you recognize future management superstars? And hint, it ain't your top rep. So this is where the chat I really want to have come in. So I'm going to share some of the top ways I've used. I'm going to share some of the things that other people have shared with me over the years. And if you have a silver bullet, I want you to chat it in so that we can talk about it too. Okay. First of all, don't look at your A reps, look at your B reps. So Bob, when you said I was an okay rep, bingo, that says to me, we found the right person. The B reps very often have great effort, but maybe not perfect skill, or they don't have that killer instinct. They're in the good business and the helping business and the customer care business, but maybe not in the winning business. We've got the right DNA. So start there. Also, if somebody is thinking about getting into management and you're just not sure and they're not sure, assign them a protege or a mentee, people will call that, right? Let them see how it feels to teach and mentor. And after doing that for 6 months, if they're hooked, management material. If they're not, probably not. The people who do the best in management are the ones who are called to it, Bob Perkins, and they're called to it to help others. See who on your team already speaks in KPIs. Not metrics, not revenue, the land between, like we were talking about earlier. And here's a great question to ask to uncover that. What trends have you found in your business? Also look for somebody who has a sales process. Talk to me about how you attack your day or your plan of attack for your book, your accounts, your leads, whatever type of sales they're doing. When you have a rep who cannot tell you how they do it, to them it is an art, not a science, that is difficult. Those reps struggle. They can't teach it. They can just do it. It's innate. It's God-given talent. It's an art. They probably belong in sales. When someone can articulate the big picture view of their business by talking in trends and a process, I do this first, I do that second, here's how I build it, here's how I onboard. Now you've got somebody with that systemic thinking, and process mindset. Great management building blocks. Find someone who prioritizes well. Good question to ask. What do you do first each day and why? prioritization and organization are actually huge parts of being successful managers. And yes, they are skills that can be taught, but there are also some innate abilities and motivations and behaviors that go with that. So look for that organized mind, organized desk, and prioritized day. Look for somebody who's a tremendous listener. Enough said. Does this person play well with others? Do you see them sharing? Do you see them learning? Do you see them teaching? Do you see them understanding? Or do you see them Heismaning everybody because they are a superstar and want to be treated that way? We all know this is true. Your very top reps need a lot of attention. They are puppies that need constant petting. They are high maintenance. You couldn't survive if you had a team of 10 of them. Don't promote that girl. Okay, she's in it to win it. Probably not a natural leader and manager. And finally, this motivation of wanting to make things better. These people can't help but innovate and improve. I also find it a great sign of maturity. Does anybody remember Maslow's hierarchy of needs? Right? It says you can't get to self-actualization if you're like cold and hungry and homeless. I'm at least 2 of those right now. We have that same hierarchy with leaders. I don't care about what's going on with the team or the company. If I can't already take care of myself, right? I take care of me, then I take care of the people around me, then I care about the whole company. And when you get somebody who's already talking about how to make things better at a team or company level, you've got somebody who's taking care of themselves, right? There's not a hole there they have to fill with management. Am I speaking to you on any of these, Bob? Do you have one to add?
I don't want this to stop. I've been on the edge of my seat. I'm catching myself making comments back, and I'm on mute.
I'm talking to you, though. I'm like, Bob, remember this? You just said this.
Incredible. I took a bunch of notes here. I once heard a manager say, "Boy, I feel like I'm babysitting." I go, "You are." I mean, that's if you don't think you're managing C, D, and B players, to your point on that curve you had, hey, you know what?
Right.
You gotta babysit to a certain level. I mean, that's what you're there. You're there to help people, right? And to guide and this is fantastic. This is probably one of your best, Lauren.
Oh, thank you. I'm so passionate about it. I really am. I have a free download at the booth.
Yeah.
Can I tell everybody about that?
Yeah, please do. Yeah.
Like I said, everybody's favorite was the coaching model. So I've got a coaching model, free download, no strings attached. To get it at the booth, free right now. And I filled it in with how to use the coaching model for call coaching, including some call coaching tips and leader level tips for call coaching, stuff you want to ask about to make sure you're showing that call coaching is important. So I'll be at the booth too to answer questions. That's my stuff. Let's connect on LinkedIn and let's talk.
This is, we have some time between, because this is pre-recorded. I also like your 8 hiring checklist. Could you maybe make that available at your?
Oh, I'd be happy to.
Yeah, that's really, really good. If you're a leader out there and you're looking to promote someone, this is fantastic.
And I know that people are going to have additions to that, right? I know they are, because we've all made the mistakes. So I can't wait to talk to you at the booth, chat it in, and come talk to me, and then we'll keep adding to that 8.
Well, once again, Lauren, the entire Factor 8 team, what a great sponsor and partner you've been.
Thank you.
Over the years. We just love you guys to pieces. So
right back at you. It's been so wonderful.
Right.
I can't wait to do this again in person.
Yeah, it's coming soon. So in fact, I think we still have a retreat on the books for October. So we're hopeful.
Listen, leaders, if you haven't been to one of those senior executive retreats, the summit's phenomenal, but the retreat's a whole different level. It's a whole different vibe. It's awesome.
All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us here at the AA-ISP Virtual Sales Summit. Have a great rest of the conference.